If you consider yourself a little bit shy, let me know if you've ever seen this play out in your own life in a corporation or business you might work for. There's one person who is a little bit more shy. I'm not talking about you, just someone in the company, but he knows a ton. Super smart guy. Maybe he's been around for a long time. And then there's a guy who's very outgoing and very opinionated. Maybe he's been there a fraction of the time the other guy's been, but is very outspoken. And when they both go against each other and say the answer to a question, which the guy who's more shy is way more qualified to answer, or even is up for a promotion, a lot of times the guy that is just more outgoing and loud gets the position or is heard or is respected, or they go to his answer above the person who's maybe even a specialist in the field. It's incredible how that works. So today in this video, I want to talk about how if you are a little bit shy, how you can take a step towards coming across as a little bit more confident so you can get the benefits of that while maintaining all the strengths of being a little bit more shy, potentially a little bit more introverted as you go. So what a lot of people don't understand is shyness is indicated to people in your subcommunications. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning you are basically telling the other person to treat you in a way like you're shy or you're maybe not confident. And unfortunately, sometimes low social status comes along with people who are attributed to being not confident. I'm not saying this is true. A lot of times shy people are very confident, but it comes across that way, and therefore you're telling people, unfortunately, to treat you in that way. And the three biggest ways that comes across are your body language, your tonality, and your pinging. And I'm going to talk about all three of those today and talk about how you can mitigate those problems to actually come across in a confident way, even when you're feeling shy. So first of all, with your body language, a lot of times shy people, they just aren't comfortable naturally taking up as much space. So their shoulders are a little in, maybe they're a little bit slunched, a little bit over. They're not taking up as much space. They're not moving in a confident, grandiose way. So one of the things you can think about is just trying it out, seeing how it feels to move in a way that someone who is 100% confident that they're right, they're 100% sure that they have the respect of the person they're talking to, and they're 100% sure that they're the leader in that group. How might your body language change? Sure, it's not going to be like Tony Robbins up on the stage. That dude's clap is unbelievable, but it's going to be a step in that direction. And most likely in your brain, you are overestimating just how big of gestures and how much room you're taking up. It's actually probably more to the normal spectrum. So try that out the next time you're around somebody and you're feeling a little bit shy. Your vocal tonality. Now, this is something that really tells so much about how you're feeling inside. How are you talking? The inflections in your voice, the strength of your voice, the resonance of your voice. You're once again telling people how confident you are. The shy guy says, no, actually, I've done this experiment before, and this is the way it comes out. I've tested it 3 times. And the loud guy says, no, I saw it on TV before, and this is the way it's going to be. Who do people believe? Unfortunately, it's the person that speaks with more confidence. That's all about your tone of voice. Now, if you felt like you always have had a bit of a weak voice, if you're trying to improve on your tonality and get a stronger voice, you can actually touch up here if you're on a mobile device or you're on an iPad, or click right here to get my free vocal tonality power checklist. And that's something that's going to give you 6 things you can immediately look at to improve that tone of voice. But the second is tonality. So always be aware of how you're coming across. Take a step towards a more assertive, towards a more rapport-breaking tonality when you're in situations like that, and just see how people respond. Realize that when you do tend to be a little bit more shy, your tonality is a little bit more supplicative. It's a little less convincing. It's a little less authoritative. We want to get you to the point of the middle, if not even a bit of a step to the right. Now, the third thing is pinging. And what pinging is when you look around at other people in the environment, basically what you're doing is trying to ensure that what you're doing is okay or acceptable. So people who are a little more shy or maybe a little less confident in social situations, they're always looking at the eyes of other people to be sure that people aren't looking at them like, man, that guy just made a huge blunder. But the problem is when you do that, you're telling people, yeah, not that confident here. I'm feeling pretty shy. Maybe I haven't been here before. Maybe I don't like being here. And maybe these things are true. But unfortunately, when people perceive this, they perceive you as being less confident and maybe less in the right place. So when you talk and you're trying to speak with authority, when you're always looking around this, you're going to be a little less convincing. So understand that pinging, or when you're looking around, it communicates these things to people. So what are you going to do? Just do it less. You're going to feel, when you first start to do it less, like you're flying blind. You've got no confirmation that what you're doing is right or wrong, and it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. But as you begin to do it more and more, you'll realize that it's so rare that you ever actually get any information from pinging around and looking at people that it's really a no-brainer. So what I would like you to do is, the next time you're in that situation, we talked about this a little bit with your body language, but imagine what someone would behave like in their body language, their voice, and their tonality if they were 100% sure that they were the leader in the group. They are respected. Everything they're doing, they have complete certainty in. How would that change? That's an easy one thing to think about if you don't want to think about all these little different things. Now that you understand tonality and pinging and body language, it'll help. But just get in your mind, what would that person who had that true belief in that mindset, what would they look like? What would they sound like? And try it out. Sure, you're going to make some mistakes at first. You're going to do some things. You're going to try to go a little bit too far, and it's going to be uncalibrated. But you're going to have to make these mistakes to get to the point that you want to be. Don't let that shyness hold you back. Don't let that shyness be misconstrued as a lack of confidence, or even worse, don't let it be misconstrued as someone who's less qualified. Too many times that happens. Now, if you're talking about being socially aware and understanding what's going around you socially, and that's something that you've always wanted to improve on, I have a program called the Social Invincibility Program that goes through all of these different components that I put together that will get you to a really advanced level of understanding of social interaction in general. A lot of times people who are more shy, they've had less chances to be social, and so they haven't had as many trial and errors. So a lot of times their entire social skill or social awareness can be a little bit low. So this is a nice way to jump up to a higher level if that's something that you're interested in learning.